Hey everyone, Danielle Whitford here, founder of Dedication Nation, which was actually a 2015 premier team ranked in the top 0.1% of the entire Beachbody network, three-star diamond coach, and your resident mom boss. So I just wanted to take a quick minute to share my story with you because I know that I share about it a lot, but I don't know that all of you really know my whole story. So my story actually started way back, like when I was growing up. So I grew up in a house that was very German Dutch, meaning we ate lots of red meat, lots of potatoes, lots of canned vegetables. So in fact, I joke, but I'm pretty sure I didn't have an actual leaf of spinach, a fresh leaf of spinach, until I was probably into my 20s. But anyway, so I did not grow up around a whole lot of health and fitness examples. My parents showered me with love and affection, but that was one area that our family was definitely lacking. So, time went on, and over the years, especially once I got through the teenage years, I started putting on a lot of weight. So in college, I think it was the freshman 20, maybe 25. And it just kept going from there. And I kept making deals with myself. Like I kept saying, okay, when I get to this point, like when I get to 200 pounds, I'll do something about it. And then that came my way. Okay, when I get to 210 pounds, I'm gonna do something about it. And that came. And I just kept going on the same cycle, like saying I would do something and not following through. So my wake-up call for myself didn't come until my daughter Lily was born. She was born in December of 2011, and my trigger picture is actually me about to have her. And I know that that's not exactly the most flattering time in any woman's life, but for me, it was just a huge wake-up call. The last deal I had made with myself was that when I'm embarrassed to be in pictures I should be in, and I don't want people to see them, I'll do something about it. And this was that time. This was a moment in my life that I should have wanted to share with the entire world, and I didn't want anybody to see it. I didn't want to be in her newborn pictures. Like, I went unshowered and with no intent of being in her pictures because I was so mortified with how much I had let myself go. When I was about to have her, I was, roughly about 300 pounds, and it was bad. I actually call that picture my Jabba the Hutt picture because that's what I feel like. I had no neck. I was huge. In my mind, I was huge. And I was miserable. That was the bigger thing, is that, I couldn't breathe when I went up the stairs. It had nothing to do with being pregnant anymore. It was just that I'd let myself go that badly, that just like walking from one end of the house to the other was a chore. So I waited my 6 weeks after having her, because I had her C-section, and so then I waited the 6 weeks as recommended, and I went straight from the doctor appointment to Weight Watchers, and I enrolled at Weight Watchers. And I saw some success. I did, and like about a month later, I joined a gym, and I got a personal trainer and paid an arm and a leg for a trainer 3 days a week. So I was doing all the things. I'm like, I just have to jump in and go because I don't know what I'm doing. I have to start from scratch. Like, I have to do something. Someone has to tell me what to do. So that's the road I took. I didn't know anything. I saw success about 9 months into all of that. I lost about 40 pounds. In addition to all of the baby weight, because I was so big, I didn't gain a whole lot in pregnancy. So I lost that pretty quick, but then I started losing some of that pre-pregnancy weight, about 40 pounds of it. And then I plateaued, like really bad. In fact, I'm really proud of myself in that period of my life because I didn't give up. Like, even though I was plateaued, I didn't go back to eating, bags and bags of chips or tons of burgers and fries. Like, I stuck with it as much as I could, but I plateaued. So I plateaued for about 6 to 7 months before I started seeking out other options. And in that time, I think part of the reason I plateaued was that I kind of stopped working out. Like, I stopped going to the gym. I was working full time. I was commuting, and I had a daughter at home. Like, it just, spending an hour in the gym when I want to spend that hour with my daughter, when I only get 3 hours with her every day, like, it just didn't make sense to me. So I kind of stopped and started ditching out on my personal training sessions, and I'm sure that all contributed to my stall and my weight loss journey. So fast forward a little bit. So this was, this was beginning of 2013. So I'd been in my journey for about a year, just over a year. And I posted something on my Facebook page, like, okay, I'm seeing all these posts about Shakeology and Beachbody and how awesome it is. And I'm like, is this real? Like, is this really that awesome? Because when you go online, you get the, like, this sucks, like hardcore, or this is super awesome, the best thing ever. But it's usually coaches. You're like, is this really that awesome? Like, I need someone I know who can like actually give me the 411. So I posted it on my Facebook page, and one of my good friends suggested I talk to one of her friends who's a coach. So I chatted with her, and I asked her all those, those intense questions, like, is it really that awesome? What makes it so awesome? Like, I drilled her. And I drilled her for like 4 months. Like, I was like, you need to tell me everything. And I hemmed and I hawed, and I was like, I don't know, like, it's a lot of money, yet I'm willing to shell out $300 for a trainer I'm not using. I'm like, I don't know. So then I was just like, I'm done. Like, I've not progressed. I'm about 10 months into no progress. Like, I kept going between these same, like, 5 pounds. Like, all right, something's got to give. So I reached out to her. I was like, okay, let's do this. So I jumped in with T25 and Shakeology. And about like a couple weeks, I think it was like 2.5 weeks in, I was off my plateau. Like, I was already at my 50-pound weight loss goal that I've been staring at for the last like 10 months. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why didn't I do this sooner? So I did it, and it was awesome. I finished T25, and literally the next Monday, I found out I was pregnant with my second daughter, Valerie. So in the meantime, while I had done T25 and Shakeology, I was debating about being a coach, because I'm like, I hated working. I wanted so badly to be home with my babies. It was miserable of me going to work. Like, it really, really was. I totally thought before I had kids, I'd never want to be a stay-at-home mom. I was like, oh, no, that's not me. Like, I was like, huge, pregnant. No, it's not going to be me. And then Lily came, and just my priorities, everything shifted. No judgment for anybody who does not want to quit their job. Like, more power to you. But for me, that was just not where my heart was. I don't like the corporate environment. I worked in corporate environments that were suffocatingly negative. They were so negative. And I couldn't do it anymore. I was miserable. But I didn't want to get more debt. I didn't want to have to go back to school. I didn't want to go get certified or take a huge pay cut to become a personal trainer. It just wasn't in the cards for us. So I toyed around with the idea of coaching. Then I got pregnant, and I was like, well, I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. So I actually submitted my cancellation form to my mentor, and I was like, okay, well, it's going to happen. And she reached out to me and was like, you don't understand what you're sitting on. Like, you don't understand the power of your story. You don't understand the power of this opportunity. And I didn't. I didn't believe in it. I was the biggest skeptic. I looked at her and all the awesome things she was doing, and I was like, there's no way that's going to be me. There's no way. And so I kind of put it on the back burner. I withdrew my cancellation form, and I just kind of sat there. I just kind of watched her. I watched her do her thing and all these awesome things that she was doing, and I watched her team do all these awesome things. I just kind of stalked everybody. And then my breaking point came January of 2014. I was working in corporate, it was a 9-to-5 kind of deal, Monday through Friday. Not a bad gig, really. Like, it was a pretty cush job, if I'm being honest. Like, it was all right. But the downside was that there was very little flexibility in me missing work. And I have a kid in daycare. I have another one on the way. So Lily's daycare was closed because it was massively cold. Those of you who don't know about Wisconsin winters, it can be like -30 with the wind chill here. Kind of crazy. So I had to miss work because her daycare was closed. I took my computer home with me. I took the phone home with me, and I worked from home. And I was just like, there has to be something different. Like, there has to be a better way. Because the worst part was that I went back to work, and my boss had to talk to me about missing work. I was like, I was working at home, and I'm getting talked to about missing work. Like, this isn't gonna get any better. Like, I have a baby on the way. Like, they're gonna get sick. Things are gonna happen. I had 2 sick days. Like, what am I gonna do? And it was like, oh my gosh, it's staring right in front of me. This opportunity has been staring me in the face. So January 2014, I decided I was done. I was done living my life based on corporate rules and structures, and I was going to go for it. I set a goal that I'd be out of my job in a year, and within a few days of that, I was out of my job in a year. Been home with my kids since February 10th, 2015, and it's amazing. It is the hardest job. Like, let's be honest, staying home with your kids, not an easy gig, but it's where my heart is. It's where I want it to be, and that's the piece that matters. So if you're sitting there and you watch what I post, or maybe you have some friends who do this and they're doing some awesome things, and you're just watching and you're like, gosh, this can't be that good. This can't be that awesome. I'm here to tell you, it can be that awesome. It can change your life, but you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to show up every day and do it in spite of the obstacles, in spite of the people that tell you you can't do it, because they're going to do it. They're going to tell you that you can't do it, and they're full of crap. So if this is something you've been sitting at and you've been wondering and waiting and wishing and hoping and you just don't know, I'm here to tell you, just do it. Like, you literally don't have anything to lose. Like, and you have so much to gain. Like, I think about it and I'm like, man, if I never would have said yes, or if my coach would never have talked me out of canceling, like, my life would be so different, so miserably different. So just, if this is something you want, and maybe Beachbody Shakeology, maybe that's not your jam, and that's fine. Like, maybe something else. I don't care. But if you have a dream and you have something you want in your life, just freaking go for it. Just do it. Because sitting on the sidelines and wishing and waiting and hoping and wasting your life doing that is just that. It's a waste. So my challenge to you is to go out there and build your dreams and start living them. Because I'm here to tell you, it's so freaking awesome.